So one of my favorite topics, sugar. Sugar is so highly addictive. There's studies that are done with cocaine and sugar, and it's 10 times amplified what your brain does in a dopamine response to taking sugar versus the drug. And it's not just cocaine, that happened to be the study, but on all drugs. We come out with a milk bottle in one hand and a juice bottle in the other, and we're a few months into life, and we're hitting a system with sugar at such a consistent rate that we will get addicted. Our clinics work with a person, a specialist. In ABC Clinics, we have a go-to person that's talking about the ketogenic diet and why the sugar relates and being in ketosis and how we can kind of get you off that addiction pattern. If I had to pick an evil root of almost anything, I would look at sugar. So one of my favorite topics, sugar. It's integrative medicine, accessible beltway clinics and practice, and we're talking about how we integrate specialties and treat pain. And you've seen me lecture on the opioid crisis. I'm a national expert. I'm on stage all the time. But one of my passions is discussing sugar and what maladies it's actually caused, societal maladies. If we look at a timeline of 500,000 years of evolution of what we've become from Cro-Magnon stage to how we are now, and we're talking about 500,000 years have gone by, I don't have a pen with the fine enough ink to put on a scale of a little dot on a football field, to put a tiny little dot on that football field, on that 500,000 years, how long we've been consuming sugar at the rate that we consume it. Why is it important? When you go down an aisleway and there's a child that you see with his mother, and he's kicking, screaming, and on the floor about not having Trix cereal off the shelf versus something that she chose that was a little bit better. Now, you're looking and saying that you can't control your kid. What are they throwing a tantrum for? But you have to understand these neurological pathways that get developed of the dependency on sugar, even at an early age. We come out with a milk bottle in one hand and a juice bottle in the other, and we're a few months into life, and we're hitting a system with sugar at such a consistent rate that we will get addicted. And I just said the word addicted, and I say the word sugar, and people will look at it and be like, well, how are you going to get addicted to it? If there's 2 chocolate bars in the house and my wife doesn't get one of them, I'll tell you what addiction looks like. Sugar is so highly addictive. There's studies that are done with cocaine and sugar, and it's 10 times amplified what your brain does in a dopamine response to taking sugar versus the drug. And it's not just cocaine, that happened to be the study, but on all drugs. So we're feeding a fuel, an animal, of getting dopamine dependent from these hits of this unnatural thing that goes through our system, and it becomes addictive in nature. So when you think, well, I don't eat cakes and I'm not a candy person, but you have breads and pastas and grains and cereal, they turn to sugar as soon as you put it into your mouth. Why is it all important in a clinical setting, and is maybe related to pain or maybe related to general health? Because sugar makes your system, you have systemic inflammation as a result of putting too much into your system. I have a chapter in a book with Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul author, and one of my really close friends, David Seaman, and he talks about that inflammatory process a lot. Our clinics work with a person, a specialist. In ABC Clinics, we have a go-to person that's talking about the ketogenic diet and why the sugar relates and being in ketosis and how we can kind of get you off that addiction pattern. That's why we say we're integrative in nature, because we have the tools of experts outside. Sugar is a malady. If you twist your ankle and you have systemic inflammation based on terrible things you put in your system, too much sugar, the dollar menu at McDonald's, that ankle blows up this big. Now, somebody who's not in that situation, not sugar dependent, is really watching what they're doing, they're overall healthy, they're taking care of themselves, that same ankle will blow up, but half its size. And not only will it be half its size, it'll get better in 3 days as opposed to 3 weeks. So, we need to really take a closer look at diet and nutrition. But if I had to pick an evil root of almost anything, I would look at sugar.